I'm gonna slide into that girl's DMs. Fuck it.
Are you gonna close the sale?
I'm gonna open up the lead, see if I can just slap myself in there.
Is she in your pipe drive now?
Well, I don't know if she knows, but she is in mine.
And on that note, guys, this is my sales guy. I'm ashamed to say, no, but guys, seriously, this is
jealous because I'm better looking. It's true.
so guys, this is my sales guy, Esteban. Now we've got a really cool video. I brought him over to the crib because I wanted to talk about the topic of cold calling, of sales, whatnot, because I'm very happy to announce that end of January thereabouts, I'll be releasing my social media marketing course. So many fucking people have asked about it because I have a very interesting approach to my marketing agency. I talk a lot about like the systems I've built to literally just get clients like through the door consistently, and I've never done a cold call in my life ever. But you know who has? My sales guy. And as I said, that's why I thought I would bring him on here to talk about sales and whatnot. So I guess just introduce yourself.
Yeah, okay, so my name is Esteban, and I've had a past in sales for the last couple of years. I never really went deep into sales until I opened up my own marketing agency months back, and I realized how big of an issue sales are, especially for startup businesses in the marketing industry. Businesses like I'm sure you guys are running. So I started getting really passionate about actually how to solve that problem. And yeah, that got me took me deep into the rabbit hole. And here I am now doing sales for Mr. Iman Gaji.
Yeah, guys. So the way we actually connected is he came to my event here in London like 2.5, 3 months ago, and followed up with me. Did very well to actually land a meeting with me after. So we went for a quick coffee, and he basically proposed the idea of cold calling and coming on board as my sales guy. I'll be honest, I was skeptical as fuck when he first brought it up because in my head, cold calling doesn't work. Right. And that's actually the topic of this video, like the limiting beliefs around sales and how your limiting beliefs are holding you back. Right. Because, it was unknown territory for me. I had gone a completely different route in terms of my customer acquisition. I brought him on board. I said, look, if you can land me like 2 meetings, let's roll with it. Let's do this. I think in the space of 2 weeks, he got me 6 fucking meetings, all super solid leads, and actually went on to sign a few of those. So look, I thought I would bring him on and first of all, just ask him, like, obviously I had a bunch of limiting beliefs. What do you think as someone getting new into social media marketing? Like, what are some limiting beliefs that are holding people back, and how did you initially face them?
Sure. Well, the main limiting beliefs, guys, is that cold calling doesn't work. Unfortunately, there's a lot of gurus out there that push this belief out there that cold calling is not the way to do things. As I told you, I had a marketing agency myself, so I experimented with all the methods now. I did cold emailing, networking, references, of which I mean references are the highest. They got the highest conversion ratio, but in terms of getting a client really quickly from zero, cold calling is the way to go. As when you're starting a business, you want to get cash as quickly as possible. So the best way to go from 0 to 100 is to start getting on the phones. Visiting businesses is, I know, something that you guys do a lot as well. But the bad thing about going to businesses is the amount of time that you waste. On the phone, on the other hand, you can, instead of going one day only visiting 5 to 6 locations, you can ring up 20 in 1 hour. So I mean, you can put things together and see how cold calling can be superior.
Yeah. So look, when you go down your sales process and whatnot, like obviously everyone starts somewhere, and a lot of people on the other side of the screen are literally at like ground zero. Like, what did you do to train yourself within the realm of sales, with like getting comfortable with all this stuff,
Okay, so the number one thing you have to do when you start selling something is you have to believe in what you're selling. Okay, so get comfortable believing in what you got, bro. Start believing in your service. It works. Just be comfortable with the fact that you'll be able to do it, especially with this guy's help. You will get the right information and you will get the right strategies to pull through. Once you got that belief, you just have to pick up the fucking phone and do it. And also, build yourself a little script just so you can have that extra comfort behind you, that extra confidence, and to actually have some sort of strategy to actually get where you want to go. Because without a strategy, you just won't be able to close any deals.
Okay. Yeah, and that script that he talked about, that's big because I have been studying. That's kind of like my new big thing is sales over this past like few weeks because literally like 2 weeks ago I closed $7,500 on the phone, which is roughly $10,000 in like 5 days, right? But these are all warm leads or hot leads, like people who were gonna buy anyways. So, but you know, last week like I had like I think like 4 calls. I only closed like 2K on the phone last week, and you know, like the results weren't as solid, and you know, I didn't feel as good, and like you know, things went off the sales process and whatnot. You know, if you look at like Jerome Belfort's like straight line persuasion, you know, I've studied that and whatnot, like, and so obviously I brought you in because you're a master at sales. Like I really respect what you've done within that realm, and you know, all the help that you've given me. And I, you know, obviously I brought you into the crib last week, and I'm like, you know, like, do I need a sales script? Like, how important is the sales script? And obviously you were like, well, fuck yeah, like you can't like, yeah. Can you elaborate on that, Macy?
Yeah, 100%. You can't just go in there and fucking wing it. Like, if you don't have some sort of strategy, you're never gonna get to your end goal. And that's the most important thing. Number 2, you're not gonna feel as confident on when you have to say. Number 2, you won't see what you're getting wrong every time you make a phone call, because there's some objections that are very common. So you can actually write those down, write how you're gonna resolve those objections, and then the next time they appear, you can actually feel more comfortable with dealing with them. Now, another very important thing that I really want to put touch on is follow-up. Follow-up is probably the biggest and most important thing when you're trying to sell something, when you're trying to sell yourself, when you're trying to sell a product, with anything, okay? Selling involves a lot of rejection. So a lot of the sales, you won't make them on the first phone call. That's just the nature of sales. But if you follow up, you can turn 100 phone calls into 400, obviously, because you got 100 people that you can talk to, and with follow up, that means you can call each guy 5 to 12 times. So you automatically made yourself have a higher chance of actually closing a sale, if that makes any sense. But this is a really important fact that I want you guys to remember when it comes to follow up. It takes usually around 5 to 12 times to close a deal. Okay, so you have to call the same guy 5 to 12 times to close that deal on average. Once you get that in mind, and once you start actually following up on those leads, that's when you're actually going to see the real big results.
All right. Yeah, and that was big. Like, he always presses me on the follow up. Just because, as I said, I guess I've been very lucky because I've put such incredible systems in place. I put such incredible email follow-ups in place. I've put such incredible funnels in place, such incredible social funnels where socially, like, I'm building all these systems so that people are funneling to me. That, like, you know, I never really had to follow up. Like, people came to me with the interest. So that was something he pressed hard on. Guys, this is his first time on YouTube. So, like, most people shit themselves in front of camera, but it would be fun if we just did a little role play, like of a phone call. So whatever. I'm a local gym, let's say, for example. So yeah, let's roll it.
All right. Okay, so obviously it might come across as I'm actually just winging it, but remember, I've done this so many times that there's always some sort of structure behind what I'm actually saying. So if I'm gonna ring up, let's say, a gym, and let's put this in perspective. Let's say I get the decision maker on the phone call straight away, all right? So I'm going to be up like, hey, hello, good afternoon. My name is Julian. Can I speak to the business owner? And he's going to be like, yeah, that's me. It's Iman. And I'm like, okay, great. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, the reason for my call is that I actually came across your business online, and I saw that we could massively help you get more customers every month. using social media marketing and advertising. Now, I don't know if you do anything like this, or have you done anything like this before?
Yeah, I have someone in-house handling it.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Actually, a quick fun fact is that most of the businesses I call today actually are working with somebody else already. And the reason for my phone call right now is actually not to sell you my service. I merely want to have 15 more minutes of your time, just so that you can maybe consider and see how we can actually make your business better. Because one of the main reasons why I created this agency was because all of the other agencies out there, they cannot deliver results. They just don't do the work real, pretty much. Now, all I need is 15 minutes of your time. I know you're a busy guy. When can we do a meetup?
So you said you found my business online. Why did you decide to call me after looking at my business? Did you find something wrong, or?
Well, I mean, there is a lot of stuff that I have to point out. I mean, there's obviously stuff that you could do better. Again, I'm not trying to give you a phone call just to diss your business. I know you're a business owner and I respect you for that. But there's obviously a lot of things that I'd like to show you. Because
and at this point, by the way, guys, like there's a checklist that he goes through. So for example, he'll check stuff like, is there a Facebook pixel installed on the website? And if there's no Facebook pixel installed, like 90% of the time they're not doing Facebook advertising, or if they are and they don't even have a pixel installed on their website, like that's an immediate like a tell-all that he should be calling me. So at this point, I mean, as I said, I've completely put him on the spot, guys. Like just remember, it's first time on YouTube, first time in front of camera.
Choking.
But like, look, as I said, like he would know, he tracks the analytics of their website. He tracks stuff like their Facebook pixel. He tracks stuff, he looks at their social media, their engagement, their overall branding, stuff like that. And he has, through tools that we'll talk about in the social media marketing course, like he has a lot of actual info on the business before he even calls. So when I ask something like that, like, like why did you decide to call me? He can actually point out that info. But
Yeah, and also something that's very important, the more you know about the business, once you get on the phone with the decision maker, you can pre-plan the objections that he's gonna have. Obviously, you can tell as a marketer when they're already working with a marketing agency, so you already know what to expect from that. Okay, now do prepare for a lot of objections. Pretty much what we did right now is objection handling. But yeah, the more you know about their business, the more capable you're gonna sound on the phone, the more comfortable you're gonna be, and the more they're gonna notice that you actually care about their business. Which is very important.
One of the things I also noticed with you is you never block an objection, which I find super. Like he never like, and I've guys, I have like so many coaches, so many mentors, and I have friends. Like he's literally like, he started off as my sales guy, like now one of my closest friends. Like I study and I learn from these people, and one of the things I always notice is you never go like if I go my audience isn't on Facebook, like you would never go, no, actually blah blah. You always just kind of like loop around it.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, you gotta take the customer's perspective, right? Like whenever you're arguing with somebody, whenever you're getting a discussion, you're not gonna get anywhere just by saying that the other guy is wrong. The other guy only cares about what he just said. So as long as you acknowledge it, and then find a way to deal with that objection by offering some more information, the guy's gonna be cool with it. Again, remember, most of the objections you're getting are just complaints. So as long as you have that in mind.
Okay. Yeah. Really, really good question. What's the difference between an objection and seriously like fuck off, like no?
Well, I mean, you can tell straight away, like if you approach a girl at the club and you grab her by the arm and she almost tries to slap you, or she tells you like a solid no, I'm not interested in being with you, then you're like, okay, whoa, like I shouldn't just like go ahead and try to go for the kiss now, okay? He's actually objecting. A complaint, on the other hand, must be like you come across, you talk to a girl and they're like, oh no, I don't have time, I'm with my friends or whatever. Yeah. They're just complaining, dude. They just trying to see what your reaction will be. It's like when you talk to somebody on the phone.
It's what's known as a shit test.
Yeah, it's like a shit test, dude. Like if you go up the street and some guy just stops you, hey, what's up, man? Your natural response, you don't even know anything about this guy. He might be about to offer you $1 million. Your first response is gonna be, oh no, dude, I don't have time. Okay, I'm not objecting, because if he told me he's gonna give me $1 million, I'd stop straight on my ass and be like, all right, give me the money. I love that. All right, give me the money. Yeah. But I just have a natural tendency. Humans have a natural tendency to just create complaints, and that's what sells. That's what people do when you're selling to them. They're gonna complain all the time. Doesn't mean they're not interested. Doesn't mean they don't want to buy your service. Doesn't mean that you're fucking up. It's just it's just a natural a natural thing for humans to do.
Yeah, and guys, just remember they're gonna test. Like, and I even like cold call or not, if I'm at a meeting, they still give me shit tons of shit tests because they need to see how long can I keep up my character for. Like, anyone can play a character or have an amazing sales script for X amount of time, but then they're gonna throw these shit tests at you, these difficult questions, which you should have a sales script to prepare for. You should know your objections. Yeah. The more like, dude, he knows how to handle every objection under the sun, but they're gonna do that to kind of like test your character, because, you know, perfect analogy, like if some random person on the street is about to give you $1 million, like you need what they're gonna give you something incredible in the same way you're about to give your clients something incredible. They just don't know it yet, and they need they need it settled in their heart that you actually are who you say you are. Like, they need to sense that congruence.
And that's where you need that belief, though, because if you don't have that belief, you're not gonna be able to push through the objections, push through the sales process, because you don't actually believe you're offering the guy $1 million, which you are. I guess you've worked on your business enough that you think you are, or even if you're not, it's just if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and once again, as I said, that's something we're gonna go over like hard on the course. Yeah. Is the fact that like most of you guys are underpricing yourself. You don't even realize the value that you're bringing to these businesses, and like that's something we're really diving deep into in the course, so that when it comes to picking up the phone, well, you're about to give them the fucking world. It's not hard to sell this stuff. But yeah, is there any like last closing points?
Yeah, for sure, because I know it's a lot of information, and sales is something that's usually something that you guys don't go deep into, so I don't want to overwhelm you with all this. The main thing that you guys should walk with from this chat is that cold calling works. Number one, start getting on the fucking phones, no matter what your excuse is. And number two, just do it. Okay, sales at the end of the day is always a numbers game. You can raise your closing ratios depending on how much you know about your product, about how to handle objections. But as long as you tomorrow start getting on the phone, even though if you don't know what you're doing, as long as you got a good attitude, you know what you're talking about, you know your product, and you get in front of enough people, you're gonna make sales. Period. Period. So stop doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Stop sending those emails that get no response whatsoever, and start getting on the phone, dude. Do something different. Your main issue is obscurity. That's it.
All right, there we have it, guys. So as I said, like, cool little way to announce the social media marketing course coming end of January. As I said, I would never fucking like tell you guys something that I've never practiced, which is why we've got this guy on for literally like 6-7 modules, right? Like there will be an hour of content straight directly from him. As I said, I kind of put him, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I kind of put him on the spot here. Like, never done YouTube, like this, like take like, it should mean a lot coming from me. Like, this guy knows a lot about sales, and I was just stunned by what he was able to do for my agency personally. So we got a full section on sales straight from Esteban. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Sweet.